Hello and good day. So, the value in knowing your taxes. Today I'm going to talk about some reasons to pay close attention to your taxes, understand what the tax system, and why, even though you might eventually or spend money to have other people do your taxes for you, it's still a good idea to understand how it all works. So to start with, understanding the different value in income or types of income is pretty important to understanding that different types of income have different types of taxes. If you're self-employed or work for or have your own business versus you working for a employee or employer as a employee, or investing, or say winning the lottery, those all have different types of taxes. As understanding that allows you to better understand the value of the income and makes you able to figure out the basic idea of the math behind each specific value. Say, for example, you won $100,000 off the lottery, although I'm not really sure if that's I do not partake in the lottery. I'm not sure which or where that kind of I'm not sure about the difference between potential winnings, but generally speaking, for the larger ones, that would definitely be a way as capital, the kind of capital gain of 50% kind of ratio. And there's also gift tax, which is similar, but which is actually pretty much the same type of tax that this thing is. So I wonder if that would fall under the same rule. But the point is, understanding the taxes behind the income is very valuable and allows you to, first of all, not be surprised by a large tax demand or bill, and second of all, to maximize your value of income by not having to pay more fees than necessary, because clearly the fees are there to motivate you to do something else or whatever the reason may be. For an example, when it comes to investing, there are two types of taxes that you are charged for investing. One is, first of all, this is on the gains, meaning what you spent. The difference between what you spent and what you sell it for is taxed or taxable. The difference in what the tax ratio is either if it's something that or what I'm talking about is usually, stocks and mutual funds. If you buy something and hold it for less than a year, is based on your income tax, meaning whatever you're charged at, 25, 35%, that's what you're charged at. Versus if you hold it longer than a year, then it is charged at it's charged usually at a 15% rate. It is also somewhat based on your income. If you're super low income, then it might be charged at a 0 at the present tax law. But if your most common tax income, say the 25, 35% I was talking about before, then you'd usually be charged at 15%. And then somebody who makes significantly more would probably be charged the 19.6% tax ratio, if I remember right. However, understanding that the tax incentive to hold your investments long term and understanding why you don't want to sell at 11 months, you want to sell at 13 or 12 plus 1 day. You want to know what kind of fees, what kind of tax you're being charged. When you're understanding finance, you should understand all the variables and be able to, if you're running your own business, you should be able to figure out the tax and be able to put enough away for when tax season comes. Because when you run your own business, by the way, to interrupt here, sorry about if my voice isn't 100% right now. I'm still recovering a little bit from an illness, and so my voice might not be 100% right for the first couple days or the next couple days. But when you're running your own business, you are required to withhold your own taxes until you pay them to the IRA or IRS. Sorry, the actual normal employee or employee income. The withholdings are usually done by the business itself. They hold a percentage, whatever your withholding rate is, and therefore most people don't usually have a big deal with that. In fact, a lot of people get tax returns, and meaning they put too much into it, and now they've loaned the government more money than it required of them. Tax-free, of course. And when I say tax-free, I meant interest-free. But the value of knowing your taxes, the value of knowing the various financial information, and the value of knowing deductions allows you to understand how to better make money, where you're being incentivized to make your income, and why and what you should be doing to improve and make use of the financial power you have and increase your financial freedom and financial generosity. And just as a tidbit, personal charity, I believe that it is one of the most fun things to do with money is to be generous with it, but of course not at the cost of hurting yourself. Give a little until you can give a lot. Give me a moment. Give a little until you can give a lot is a good philosophy to allow you to grow and be more generous, be willing to spend on yourself as well, for people who are frugal like me. And also, the charity you give tends to be far more efficient, and you responsibly manage that money far more efficient than almost any government system that we have. I think almost anyone can agree that the government is not an efficient financial way to do something unless no other person's willing to do it, in which case they might make sure something gets done. But in terms of whether we do it or in terms of whether government does it, usually we are more efficient if we have the proper financial resources that we can pool together. And that's part of the reason that we should promote, financial knowledge and financial information and to increase the well-being of people around us and the generosity of people that they can be. So hopefully this helps you guys to understand the value of knowing your taxes, and even if you don't want to do them yourself, as long as you understand the basics and make sure you can get the proper deductions and understand and plan how you spend, how you give, and how you make your money, then that can help you significantly. And if you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. If you'd like to hear more content like this, feel free to subscribe, and have a good day.